My name is Rick Farmer.
And I'm Justin Bullock.
And we are
What's Real in Real Estate?
Boom! Nailed it. Anyway, this is a new podcast that we're starting. So this is kind of a coming soon, if you will, to coin a phrase in the real estate world. And basically, Justin came up with the idea with this podcast, and him and I got to be pretty good friends. Started off as one of my customers with my business. I have a photography business. And we do mostly real estate photography. And basically Justin's concept, which I thought was an amazing idea, is that we talk about all things real estate related. And when I say all things, I mean, obviously buying, selling real estate, what's going on with the trends and different things with all the craziness going on out here, 2020, that sort of thing. But also everything, like mortgage people, title companies, inspectors, anything that has to do with real estate investing.
Yep.
And, kind of the neat thing is that I have an awful lot of years experience in this business. I did 15 years in the mortgage business before I started this business roughly 10 years ago. And then Justin, I'll let you talk about your background because you have an awful lot of background in this world as well.
Yeah, well, we own a nonprofit organization that's centered around providing affordable housing. We own a general construction company, a real estate acquisitions firm, and then I'm a real estate agent and partnered up with a property management company and kind of a one-stop shop for housing. And that's what all this is about, is to share, the pros, the cons, and everything in between, and talk about what's actually happening out there, and not glorifying it like some of the things on TV. And we want to talk about what's actually happening in this business and have good people come on board and talk about it and share it with us. And the whole goal is for this to be of value and to be a resource.
Right. And, the other thing is that this is not going to be a commercial for Justin's and my business. And, we do some things together as well. Obviously, that'll come up in conversation just because of our experiences and that sort of thing. But this is more about, what we can do to help you out there understand what's going on in the business, how to be successful. And, we're going to have guests on.
Yep.
We've already talked to a bunch of people that are interested in coming on, and right now we're just kind of sorting out the kinks. And this is like just a short few minutes coming soon, just to give you an idea what it is, and also for us to test it.
The all-inclusive exclusive.
The all-inclusive exclusive, exactly. And we just feel that there's a need for this out in the industry, and that we can kind of have fun with this. That's literally. We're excited about it, not just to get information out there and get information. We're going to learn a lot as well.
Yep.
But it's just kind of a fun thing because, we sit around and BS all the time about this all the time. So why not record it, and people who find it useful can use it?
Yep.
Our
videographers, we were telling them what we were doing, and then we ended up having a podcast with them essentially on the phone, and they were like, "This is going to be awesome."
Yeah. No, it's going to be a lot of fun, and there's so many topics. Just
we have like 100 topics.
That's all we've got right now, and that's like only a few weeks of discussing it. Yeah,
yep.
And we're always coming up with new ideas.
And we want to hear your ideas too.
Absolutely, yeah. In fact, if you're somebody out there in the business, wanting to get in the business, wanting to learn about it, you don't have to be a realtor, you don't have to be anything special. You just want to be involved. Reach out to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
People that have some good information to share and or are interesting, we want to have you on as a guest. We want to try to share your information out there as well. We want to try to promote your businesses, and it's a traditional podcast that you probably listen to all the time anyway. It's just, this is going to be specifically about real estate related things, investments, and it's not going to say we're not going to branch off and talk about other things. But it's just going to be two guys having a conversation, and if there's another guy, another girl, whatever in here, and having a conversation with us, we just want to have it be a productive, good time for everybody.
Yep.
And I just think that there's a need for that out in the industry. There are some podcasts out there that are doing kind of this thing, but they haven't really, at least from what I can tell, like really kind of put it out to everybody. It seems to be fairly regionalized.
Yep.
So we want to kind of make this bigger, and obviously, hey, we're just starting, so who the heck knows what happens, but we have plans.
Oh, yeah.
Is a good way to put it. And in fact, Justin and I together have some business plans that we're working on that we're not ready to announce just yet, but we will be announcing hopefully soon on some interesting things that we're doing that Justin has arranged some things on his end, and I've done some things on my end, and I think it's good. In fact, I wanted to kind of circle back to when we were talking, or when you were talking about the things that you've done, and you mentioned the nonprofit, and I think it's very important to talk about what you're trying to do with that. And again, this is not necessarily to be a commercial for people, but I want people to know this is a big part of what you're about, and I'm about as well, and it's really about helping people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing with the nonprofit organization. It gives us some opportunities to be able to kind of epitomize strategies to buy low, sell high, and use that surplus capital instead of taking massive board salaries and being reckless with the money. We want to take it out and we want to invest it back into the community, and we want to give it back to other nonprofit organizations. We want to develop affordable housing. That's the biggest thing. That's how it all starts, developing communities, taking distressed properties, renovating them. But the biggest thing is making capital and reinvesting that capital for other people and creating jobs and homes and opportunities for people to learn, grow, and succeed. And there's a big need for organizations to be centered around giving back. And that's what we want to do. We want to make it cool. I want to make it cool to give back to people and to make it something very fun. And there's a process to the real estate investing side and how that actually comes to fruition. And that's what we want to talk about here too, is how it's not easy building these businesses and going through these processes. And I mean, even for Rick and I to be sitting here with these microphones, there's been a tremendous amount of time, work, and energy that we've put into just this alone.
Money, everything else.
Yeah, resources. And that's what we want to do, again, is be a resource and talk about some really amazing things that are happening, talk about some things that aren't amazing, that need attention, that we want to help turn around, and kind of everything in between.
Yeah,
Make
totally.
it fun.
And I think it would be safe to say that there are a lot of people out there kind of doing just what you were talking about, but, and I don't want this to sound like they're bad people, because they're not. They're doing it for a living and they're making money, and that's kind of like goal one for a lot of people. And again, it's not a knock on anybody. I mean, look, we've all got to feed families and that sort of thing. And the difference, I think, is going to be, or is, that your mentality is, I want to help people first. There's plenty of money to be made for everybody.
Well, that's what it's about. It's value.
Right.
Money is a value token. It's a value exchange.
Right.
So if you add value, then money will come as a direct consequence of adding value. That's the whole
Exactly.
thing. So you have to put the cart before the horse there, so to speak.
Right.
Yep.
And it's interesting, because when you came to me and started talking about your nonprofit, I don't know if you remember, but I kind of got excited about it. And I got excited because so I started my business a little less than 10 years ago now. And we're doing well. Can't complain. All things considered with what's going on right now. And, I've been saying I want to find some way to give back. And you can make money and just donate it. And that's fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm more like, I want to know that money is really going to help people, not to pay someone's salary.
Right.
And again, I'm not knocking, anybody that's doing that. I'm not knocking any of the charities out there that many of you are, being very generous with. It's just that me personally, I wanted to do something I could really give back and know that the money is being used the way we want it to use. And that's why I got so excited when you started talking about it, because that's exactly the mentality that I'm looking to do. Yeah. And that kind of feeds into this podcast that we're about to start. Well, I guess sort of we've kind of started unofficially with this, but I think that
Edith you heard her walking around a minute ago.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're literally
All the
doing
clinking
it.
and clanking.
Yeah, we're literally doing it in the middle of my kitchen, and that's my wife, whom I'm about to throw out of the house. And literally we got the equipment and we sat here and set it up today, and this is the first time we're trying to do this. So it's more of a test than anything, but it's also coming soon. But we're going to be setting up a proper studio in the back room back here, so we shouldn't have the echo and the audio could definitely be better right now. We realize that, so we apologize for that. So thanks for pointing that out, Justin, and my lovely wife Edith. You didn't see the air quotes there. But yeah, I mean that's kind of what we're looking to do, and at this point, I don't think either one of us really knows the schedule yet. But what we'd like to do is do at least one a week,
Yeah.
possibly two if we can fit that in.
We can muster it up.
Yeah, hey, I'm a huge Joe Rogan fan, but I don't want to do 3-4 hour podcasts. I mean, not that I don't want to, but I don't want to do it regularly.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody's going to sit and listen to me drone on for 3 or 4 hours.
Well,
My wife is
there's
shaking.
probably people that left 3-4 minutes ago.
Yeah,
See?
my wife's shaking
You're
her
still
head
here,
now.
thank you.
She's about to walk out now because she's like, I'm tired of listening to this guy.
Well,
Yeah, there you go. But we're really excited about it. Is the bottom line, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think we're going to have a lot of good guests.
yep.
And there's going to be a lot of good information. Now, it's up to you all listening to help share this out so that good information gets out to the right people.
Yep.
And that's it. Like, we'll do our part, but like, hopefully you find this, not necessarily this specific this recording, but future podcasts. Hopefully you find it useful or find something useful and you share it along.
Yep.
And that's all we really ask from you. The only thing we ask in return is please share. And also, if you have comments, positive or negative, I don't care. Tell us. Like, you're like, hey, you guys suck. Well, tell us we suck, but tell us why so we can fix it.
Yeah,
That's
for
all
sure.
I ask.
For
right?
sure. Yep.
So-
I'm reading that book you recommended, by the way, currently.
Oh,
How We
yeah?
Decide.
Yes.
Very interesting audiobook. Couldn't tell you the author, but it's called How We Decide.
Yeah, I read that a long
They're
time ago. It's
talking
really
about in there a computer system that they taught how to play chess, and it ended up beating a grandmaster chess player.
It was the first time.
Yeah, it was interesting. And then they developed another supercomputer that taught itself how to play backgammon. So the first AI program with the chess, it simulated all of the different strategies all at once. But the backgammon player, the AI version, was terrible when it first started. It played millions and millions of times, and then it learned from its mistakes.
Yep.
And that was the whole thing as a human being, is learning from your mistakes and looking at it through that scope of how can I improve, because you are going to make mistakes. So these are the kind of things we'll talk about on here too. And I'm sure we know some pretty heavy hitters in the real estate world. We know a few multimillionaires that are out there with hundreds of properties and people who are doing some pretty amazing things. And we will have some people featured that I think will be interesting people to listen to.
Yeah, and
outside of us.
And many of them are looking for people to do business with.
Yep.
So another reason, little teaser, if you will, you're going to want to stay tuned, as they used to say back in the day.
Yep.
The kids used to say, and see that. But yeah, I forgot that I told you about that book. That book's really good. It's
I've been enjoying it.
really interesting stuff in there. And in fact, you mentioned the AI learning backgammon. I forget the game. I saw a video of. It's probably about 6 months, maybe more ago, and they did. It was another AI, and it was like a first-person shooter game, and it was crazy to see how quickly the AI figured out not just how to do the things it was supposed to do, but it figured out how to do all the tricks. Like, so it would take advantage of all the loopholes in the game. So like, how when you were a kid, or if you're playing video games and you figure out, if I hit this combination, it'll do a certain thing. The AI figured all that stuff out in certain cases. Wow. It was really fascinating. I wish I could remember the name of it. But I know it was on YouTube, but it's really interesting.
Someone find it and comment it on the post.
Yeah, if anybody knows, if you can figure out what I'm talking about.
I'm sure someone knows.
Yeah, if you can figure it out, congratulations, you win the prize, whatever that is.
Anyway, we'll do like a raffle ticket or something.
Yeah.
We'll give away a gift card for something. Yeah, there we go. We'll do a gift card. If you comment on here, if you got this far,
Yeah.
then we'll give you a $50 gift card.
Yep, definitely. And
Visa gift card.
Yeah.
So you can go out and get dinner and as many Starbucks as you want for the day.
Exactly. So. And along those lines,
I'm making Rick, though, $25 as part of that.
Yeah, whatever, that's fine. Along those lines, so this one obviously doesn't have any video on it.
Yes.
We are going to have video in the future, although I personally hesitate because they say I've got a face as a photographer, and I don't get in front of the camera very often for a reason. But, hey, maybe somebody wants to see my big, bald, ugly self.
Oh, whatever.
And I'm fine with it, but whatever. But yeah, that's another thing. We're going to be setting up, some cameras. So we're going to start recording that. Hopefully we'll have that ready to go for our first one, but we're not going to let that hold us up unless you decide.
No, I think you got a face for radio, man. We'll be good.
I definitely have a face for radio, and I'm fine with that. I married up, and that's all I know, and I'm doing better than I should be doing. Doing better than I deserve to be doing. Let's put it that way. But I think that's it. I think you should have a good idea what we're looking to do with this.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it's just going to be like two guys talking crap, and we're just going to pick a topic and go from there. And like Justin said, we've got over 100 topics already. If you've got some things that you'd like to hear us talk about, we're more than happy. Please comment and let us know. And as they always say, like and subscribe.
Yep.
On whatever platform you're viewing or listening to this on, because it's going to go out on multiple platforms. That's another thing we're working out on where it's going to be syndicated to. And as soon as we know all the details of that, we'll let people know about that as well. I know Justin's been working hard on a website and Facebook page, and we're going to be on all the socials. All the kids will be able to find us.
Spotify. There's a couple other platforms. We got our friend Dara Sweat with Next Level Promotions, and we got a rain shower happening in the background. You hear the peaceful thing.
Because a certain somebody doesn't remember that we're here recording. My goodness. It's a good thing she's cute. Anyway, do you have anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
No. Thank you all for listening. And if you made it this far, then we're excited to bring some real content to value over to you. I believe we're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to share a lot of nuggets of wisdom and make it interesting. And yeah, we're open to thoughts, suggestions, ideas.
Yep.
If you want to be featured on the podcast, we'd love to have you. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have some fun.
Yeah. No, looking forward to it. Anyway, again, I'm Rick, and that's Justin here. And we are What's Real in Real Estate. And stay tuned for more. The goal is so that we put out at least one a week. So stay tuned.
See you soon.
All right. Have a good one.
Till next time.
Bye-bye.